Web3 marketing traps that kill crypto projects. That's what we're going to get into in this video. I'm going to start spitting these out. These are the most common mistakes that I see in this industry. I've been a Web3 growth hacker for over 3 years now, almost coming up to 4. I've authored best-selling books on crypto growth, I'm a member of the Forbes Business Council, I've helped dozens of projects launch and grow in crypto. This is my market, I'm in the trenches every day, and I'm going to share the biggest traps that projects fall into to make sure that you can avoid them. Make sure that you can save your money. Make sure that you can grow your projects efficiently in this space. Let's get into it. Number 1, building a corporate brand. Now, the majority of individuals that might bring life to your community, engagement to your community, they might come and buy your token and be token holders. They're going to interact with what it is that you're building. These guys, they're not trusting corporate brands, right? This week alone, we saw big companies in the space set Pengu as their profile pictures. Polkadot, OpenSea, Coinbase, Magnet. We also did it, right? Because this is about community. This is about going against the norm, going against the corporate institution. So if you're trying to be too corporate, you're not going to be able to appeal to the mass market that already exists in crypto. They're more degen, so you should be as a project. And we've worked at Magnet with protocols that are really big altcoins, and they're very corporate. And we've brought that kind of degen, meme edge to their project. And at some cases, we've seen this help market caps go from $50 million to $200 million, just because their community and new community members now relate to them so much more because they're trusting their language and that they understand the space. So stop trying to build that corporate brand and try to build a brand that caters to the audience that you're going after. Number 2, focusing too much on pre-launch. I've seen so many projects in this space spend millions of dollars on a pre-launch to only just launch, and then post-launch, their chart just goes down. It's just red candles left, right, and center. And your marketing, or your best marketing in crypto, often is your chart, right? And we've seen that with Hyperliquid this year. It's your chart. Your greatest growth asset is your token. So if you're putting all your resource, all your focus in trying to create noise before you even launch your token, then you've not thought about your post-launch strategy. You're not going to be able to create a good chart, a bullish asset post-launch because you've just been focusing on pre-launch. And there's a huge issue between Web3 marketing teams and products, right? As soon as you launch that token should have a use case. It should have holder value capture for your community. It should have a reason as to why people actually need to buy it. It shouldn't just be this big speculation train, because speculation and hype, they're not sustainable over the long term. So trying to create as much speculation and hype pre-launch, only for post-launch for the token to do nothing and try and be held up by speculation, only for post-launch for the token to be held up by speculation and hype, it's not sustainable and it's going to lead to failure. So my second biggest point here in one sentence is don't put too much focus into just pre-launch. And also another point here is have a really strong connect between your pre-launch marketing and your post-launch product sustainability. Number 3 is incentives without products. Now, what Hyperliquid did very well is they built a product that everyone used and loved, and then they airdropped. So that the individuals were already using Hyperliquid, they saw the success of it, they loved it, they wanted to hold the token. They didn't get their airdrop and their incentive for using the protocol they didn't really like, and then they just dropped it on the market, and then Hyperliquid just tanked. The opposite happened. Hyperliquid built success into their token based on the success and the revenue generated from their platform. So people receiving the airdrop, they realized how good the platform was. They had a belief that it was going to continue attracting more users, and the token's going to keep increasing if they hold it, because the success of the protocol, which they thought was going to be successful because they were physically using it, was then being put back into building a stronger token through buybacks, through revenue generation. So Hyperliquid, they didn't do anything revolutionary. They didn't build this technology that we've never seen before. They just realized if they built a really sticky, good product, then they gave incentives based on that product, and then they had a token economy that benefited based on the success of that product, they would see success, which they've rightly done. The next point is chasing vanity metrics. How many projects have you seen launch that sell out within minutes? They have 80,000 members in their community. They have all of these metrics that lead to what would believe to be the next big thing. But as soon as the token launches, people who've bought it, they want to sell it, they want to try and make money. They're not there for the long term. They've not actually bought into believing that this company can actually do something, this project can actually solve a problem. They have just bought in to try and get in and out. They've not actually bought into the long-term story. And oftentimes, all of these metrics mean nothing post-launch because you might have 80,000 community members, but you might only have 100 or 200 left that are holding and believe in your project. So the real metric that matters are not that you've got 50,000 token holders, but how many are real people, right? How many of those token holders are real people that believe in your project, that want to see it move forward? It's not how many community members you have. It's how many community members do you have day in, day out, engaging with the community, wanting the best for the project, writing content about you guys, creating a network effect. This is what is important. I would rather buy into a project with 500 community members and 100 token holders that was all legit and the buzz was amazing, the story was brilliant, and I thought it had so many legs to it, rather than this massively blown up vanity metric-based project that is bound to fail when people realize that it's propped up on very bad foundations. The next point is trusting influencers. I've been around the block with influencers, and I've come to the assumption that working with really small influencers, maybe they've got 5,000 followers, 10,000, but they built really engaging organic communities. These guys are going to bring more traction to your project than one big guy. Because a lot of these big guys have just shilled and overly shilled to their audiences. They can't actually bring any buying volume anymore. They can't actually do anything for your project. You might want to get one or two of them that are still very reputable, that the aim is to get credibility behind your project, that these people spoke about you, but trying to actually generate community off the back of these guys or impact on the market. Those times have changed. You're much better spending that budget on 20, 30, 40 smaller guys. And if you're thinking, okay, well, that's a long process to find these guys and get these guys to write content, go and visit growwithmag.net, my company. We do this all for projects. We find the right micro guys for them and we get them to do all the content. All the project needs to do is pay for the posts. So you don't even need to think that this is out of reach. There's solutions like ours that just do it for you. But the point I'm trying to get at here, and I don't want you to think that it's just a shill, we started offering that service because we saw the impact in the growth campaigns when using micro KOLs as opposed to big KOLs. They have, like I said, these fresher audiences that are a lot more engaged. And this is the future of influencing in crypto, in my opinion. So don't just go for these big guys because you raise money and you're like, oh, I just need to get some big influencers. Look at the ROI, like really look at the ROI. Test one of these big guys if you want with the same budget spent on 20 or 30 micro KOLs, and you'll see that the ROI is so much bigger for the money paid in micro KOLs than big KOLs. Start looking at the metrics. And my final point here is premature token launch. The minute you launch that token, you need a product that the token is rewarded from that product. There's a strong token economy that is being built off the success of the problem that you are solving for your market. This is how you build a sustainable token. When you build a sustainable token, the next thing that happens is you attract a good community. You attract a good community, they convert into token holders. They have your tokens, they have a vested interest in your project, they go and talk about you, they generate a network effect. This then becomes your marketing and growth funnel moving forward. This is how you achieve viral growth in crypto. And it all comes down to actually launching a token that is set up for success. And if you launch prematurely, you're not doing this. So there's some of the points that I wanted to mention today. We have multiple frameworks, methodologies, and all sorts that are available for free on growwithmag.net. So if you want to dive into more around what it takes to grow a project successfully in this space, visit growwithmag.net. I'll leave a link in this description. Get your hands on some of those resources and really start building a sustainable project built for the future, built to take advantage of where this space is going. And also, if you like this type of content, subscribe, because this is who I am. This is the content I produce. I hope it's helpful. I'll see you on the next video.